everybody in the virtual village hall. I hope you're looking forward to today's Seated Swans class on this very hot day. So a quick reminder to make sure you've got some water with you. If you want to go and grab some water, go and get it now. Make sure you stay nice and cool. If you want to switch a fan on, pace this session according to however you need to. Don't forget that even if you think, oh, you know what, it's too hot today, this session will still be available in the virtual village hall afterwards, either on YouTube or on Facebook. It will save into the database of all the sessions in the virtual village hall. So, just check that your space is nice and clear that you're going to use around your chair. You need a nice sturdy chair, preferably one without arms is best. And I think that's pretty much everything. You can just see my dog's feet down here. So this is Stanley. He likes to make an appearance in my classes, so if he does move, but I think he's pretty tired with the hot weather as well, so I can imagine him not really moving much, but you'll just see a dog's leg down there anyway. Right, we will get started anyway now. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so feet nice and flat on the floor. Let's just check that we're sitting correctly in our chair. Ideally, we want to be in the centre of the chair so that we're supporting our own back. If you do feel as though you need this, oh, creaky chair. If you do feel as though you need the support of the chair, then sit right back so that your back is fully supported and straight against the back of the chair. But I'm going to move forwards a little bit. It didn't creak that time, which is good. Feet nice and flat on the floor. So just be careful they're not wrapped around the chair. I have a terrible habit of wrapping my legs around each other. So feet nice and flat, feet underneath your knees. Okay, so we're sitting up nice and tall, and we're just going to get started with our warm-up, which is super easy. We're just going to rub our arm, squidge our arm, tapping our arm, and then some nice big brushes, and we'll work through our arms and our legs. Let's begin, everyone. Off we go. So, rubbing your arm up into your shoulder. Really nice vigorous rubbing, so we're making the muscles and the skin nice and warm, getting the blood flowing. Hands, although we feel as though we don't need to get too warm, but it's a different type of warm. And squidging. Ready? Nice big brushes and brush. Another brush. One more brush. Just relax for a moment. You might feel a little bit of tingling or buzzing in that arm. That's correct. Let's go for the other arm. Onto the hands, backs of the hands, between the fingers. Palm of the hands, building up that heat. All the way around, squidging as well. And now we're going to go tapping, tapping. All the way up and down, light fingers. Big brushes, off we go, and brush. Another brush. One more brush. Relax. Hopefully your arms are feeling nice and warm now. Let's move on to the leg. Off we go. So the front of the thigh and the back of the thigh. Round the knee. The calf, front and back. Really rubbing it and squidging now. Onto tapping. Into your brushes. Off we go. And brush. Same again. And brush. One more. And tapping. Off we go, and fingers. Big brushes, off we go, and brush. Big brush, sending that energy out. Off we go, one more. And relaxing. Good. Okay. Into our first exercise now. Now, I do a few different sessions in the virtual village hall. I do Silver Swans, I do Dance of Parkinson's, and obviously seated swans as well, which this session is. So this is a ballet-inspired chair-based exercise. So I've tried to incorporate, later on in the session, we've got a little bit of repertoire-based work. But at the beginning, we're just going to start off with a few general exercises, inspired by chair-based exercise, but giving a little bit of a ballet twist in there. So, feet nice and flat on the floor. We're going to begin with what I call our pliés. Now, in ballet, plié means to bend. And while bending is normally done with the knees, there's nothing to stop us bending elsewhere. So we're going to use it as a warm-up of the spine. So we're going to be bending our spine. So we're rippling our head down. This is really nice and slow. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, isn't it? No, I'm only joking. Rippling down and coming back up again. And same again, it's nice and slow. Relax your head. Relax your shoulders, rippling down until you're into a curve, and then rippling back up again. So we've got lovely tall posture. Shoulders down, really feel as though the middle of your head is pulling up towards the ceiling with shoulders relaxed. We're going to take what we call a port de bras now. And in ballet, port de bras means carriage of the arms, so it's all about your arms. And we do a lot of port de bras in our plié exercise. So we're going to take one arm to first, up to fifth, so it's a nice rounded shape, open out to second, and down. The other arm first, up to fifth, opening out to second, and down. Okay, so if I just explain, if you haven't done any ballet before, this is first position, this is fifth position, and this is second position. They're nice rounded arm positions, like an oval shape, and we keep our shoulders nice and down and relaxed, and we're just going to do that with one hand. Then we're going to repeat our ripple through our spine again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So take your plie again, so we'll do it twice more. Then we're going to do a slightly fancy type of port de bras. This is what we call a sideways port de bras. So one arm to first, one arm to second. Now the hand that's on your leg, I want you to relax it down by your side. Taking your arm up to fifth. And we're going to do a little side bend, but be careful. Just make sure you're keeping both sides of your bottom still on the floor. The bend is coming from your waist, not from you tipping, because obviously we don't want you falling off a chair. So keeping your bottom nice and steady on the chair, the bend is from your waist. And then coming back up again. And then we'll use the other hand, arm first, out to second, arm up, and we can relax our hand down by our side, little stretch, and coming back up. Whenever I teach that stretch, I always say, imagine that you're wrinkling up one side of your t-shirt and you're straightening out the other. And that bend, and then you get that nice movement in the waist there. Okay, let's have a go with music now for our plie and port de bras. Off we go, so rippling down. 2, 3, 4, coming back up again. Same again. Coming back up again. One hand, arm to first. 1, 2, all the way up to that fifth position, and we can watch this hand as it opens out. A really big circle that you're reaching. Arm into first position so we can look at the hand. Taking it up, now a nice big circle relaxing, coming back up again. One more time for our plie, and down. Okay, let's take our sideways port de bras. So one arm to first, out to second, and up, and little bend. Coming back up again. One more time, the other hand on first, out to second, reaching up and port de bras. Coming back up again. And we'll finish off. Lovely, everyone. So we've got our body moving a little bit more now. So the first exercise at the bar, like I said, is always pliés for a dancer. And then the next exercise we always do is battement tendus. Well, we're not going to do battement tendus. Battement tendu is an exercise that we're working specifically on our foot strength. So I'm actually going to do a foot exercise with you all now. So feet nice and flat on the floor. Now if I've got any of my regular Silver Swans or seated swans who take my weekly online classes with me, if you will know this exercise, but if you're new and you haven't done my classes before, this is a really good foot exercise. So feet flat on the floor. We're going to start off by lifting your heel up on one foot. Let me turn to face the side so you can see. So the toes are staying stuck on the floor, but the heel is, and you can see I'm getting a nice crease in my shoes there. That's it, very, very good for mobility in your feet, really good for walking and for that strength and mobility going through your feet. Other foot and down, up and down, then we'll go back to the other foot, 2 heel raises, and then the other leg and down, and other leg and down. Now we're going to take some ankle circles. So imagine you're drawing a big circle with your heel. Big slow circle with your heel, and then we can go the other way as well. Big slow circle. Let's use the other foot as well. Big slow circle with your heel. And then let's go the other way. Big slow circle. Oh, it's just gone. Quite strong wind here today actually. It's not too bad. It's quite a cool breeze. So then we're going to cross our legs over. If you struggle with crossing your legs over, you can do this with your leg extended out in front. And we're going to ripple down through your foot. Let me turn to face the side so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm leading with the ball of the foot. So the ball of the foot leads, and then the toes point, and then up. So I'm leading with the ball of the foot, toes point, and up. And that is really good for the mobility and the strength in your feet. And then we'll have a go with the other leg, crossing it over. And we want to try and finish with our big toes pointing down to the floor. Okay, let's go with music. Feet flat on the floor. Off we go. So heel raises and down and up and down. Other leg and down and down. Same again. Other leg. Now it's your ankle circles. So big circles and circle. Let's go the other way. And the other foot. Big circle and circle. And the other way. Let's cross over your legs. Now ripple through your foot to a point and up. So toes finishing facing down to the ground. And up. Ripple through. Okay, let's swap over your feet. Off we go. Ripple through your foot. And up. Ripple through your foot. And up. One more. And we'll finish off. Always feels like it needs jazz hands, that piece of music. Okay. We're now going to go on to our repertoire. Had to think for a moment there. Onto our 2 pieces of repertoire. So the first one is, well, actually they're both from ballets. First one is from a very well-known ballet. Second one is a piece of music that you'll know, but you might not necessarily know that it belongs to a ballet. I'll come to that second piece later on. First of all, this is the Mazurka from the ballet Coppelia. Really lovely ballet. Very happy. If you have never seen a ballet before, I always recommend Coppelia or La Female Garde as being the first ballets to watch because they're nice, easy stories to follow, and really beautiful dancing, beautiful music, and just very enjoyable to watch, especially if you're thinking, oh, you know, maybe you've got like a grandchild or something who you want to introduce to ballet. Coppelia, La Female Garde, Nutcracker, you can't go wrong with those three. So, this is a little bit of Coppelia. This is the Mazurka, which is of course a national dance. So ballet dancers, as well as studying ballet, we also have to study a lot of national dancing as well, because a lot of the ballets do have like a Spanish dancing, a Hungarian dance, a Russian dance. So we have to be aware of these different stylings. And the Mazurka is obviously no exception. So the dancers for this will have on their red boots, the long skirts, and very stylized. So, hands on your waist, and we're going to start off with, well, I'll tell you what, we'll play the piece of music first of all. You might actually know this piece of music. It's a very happy piece. Okay, thank you. So the first thing we're going to do is your right hand, although I know I say right, but actually it doesn't matter which hand you use. One of your hands is going to go forwards and out. Put it back onto your waist. And we get that a lot in Mazurka, because you've got to remember that a lot of the national dances come from being in like a community setting. So, you know, you'd be in the village square, so the hand goes forwards and out to the people watching, and on. Forwards and out, and on. Forwards and out, and on. Now, a lot of the time when we have mazurkas, we get this little brushed step. It's actually a mazurka step. And so I thought it'd be a good exercise, a good opportunity for us to get our legs working in a little bit more. So we're going to brush, a little bit of a swish, and close, and a swish, and close, and swish, and close. So all I'm doing is I'm just brushing along the floor. Brush, and we just want 4 of them. I realise I've done about 7 by now, but we only want 4 of them. Remember, you would have on, for female dancers, they would have on the long skirts and the beautiful decorative blouses, and for the male dancers, they will have more like the trousers, but everybody has on the boots. So you have a really good swish on those mazurka steps. So we've had our hands for 4, then we've had 4 swishes with our feet. Let's have a little go with music for the opening. And 1, and 2. Still sitting up nice and tall. It's very bold. And on. Now with a brush. And in. With a brush. And close. Third one. Fourth one. Okay. Your hand now, it makes almost like a little bit of like a figure of 8 shape on its side. It swooshes across and out. Okay, let's try that again. So across in front and out. It's going to raise up to a diagonal line, palm down, palm up. Let's try that again. Swoosh and swoosh, hand down, hand up. Let's try it with the other hand. Swoosh and swoosh, hand down, hand up. And if you want to, because that little hand action would normally go with what we'd call a break, which is where they click the heels together as well at the same time, and they use the head. So if you want to, watch your hand, head down, head up. Swoosh and swoosh, head down, head up. Then, let's put the ending on. Hands back on your hips. You're going to step and tap and, oh sorry, no, only one of them. Step and join, This is a very typical mazurka hand position there. So your hand is going to go forwards, round, and it folds in at just the bottom of your skull, top of your neck, and it goes to that. Let's take our step and join and hand round. So it's a big scoop round to the top of your neck there. And that's the end of it. So let's just go over this second half. So we have our swoosh and a swoosh and a break. Swoosh and a swoosh and your break. Step and join. Big ending. Step and join. Really stretch that arm out. Let's go with music. Let's go from the beginning. And big bold arms out to the audience. Out to the audience. Out to the audience. And my mind just went completely blank. It must be the heat that's got to me. It's the feet, isn't it? Let's try again. It's the heat that's got to me. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now into your feet, swishing. 1 and 2. Third one. Now we're going to our swooshy swooshes. Just too excited by these. Now 1 and open, down and up. 1. I do hope you enjoyed learning that little bit of the mazurka from Copelia. On to our last piece of repertoire now for this session today. It's a 30-minute session, this. Now this is a piece of music that you will know. It's I Got Rhythm. Very famous Gershwin piece of music. But it's actually used in a ballet. And this was a George Balanchine ballet called Who Cares? And it's set to all the different music of George Gershwin. And I love Who Cares? It's a brilliant ballet and it's very jazzy. So I thought we'd incorporate a bit of a hand exercise and a few little jazzy movements in there as well. Because Balanchine's ballets aren't your typical ballets. They're not tutu ballets. They're quite modern but in a really nice way. They're not like very, very modern. Like some work which are more basically contemporary. This is modern ballet, I describe it as, but it's really, really nice, very fun to watch. So, we're going to start off with our hands raised, okay, and your hands are in fists, and we're going to do jazz hands, out, and in, and 2, and in, and 3, in, 4, then bring your hands together because we're going to do our jazz hands. Imagine you've got a square in front of you. So there's going to be one jazz hand to each corner. So we're going to go down and in, down and in, reach and in, reach and in. Let's have a go from the beginning with their music. So jazz hands to begin. And up, off we go. And open and close, open and close. Really opening those hands. Low, reaching high, good. From here we're going to reach our arms over the top in a nice big rainbow. You can do a little bit of a shimmy with your hands if you want to. Over the top, because why not? And then the other way, reaching over, jazzy hands. Then we're going to reach our arms out. It's almost like we're doing a big yawn. One hand forwards, one hand to the side. We're going to push our hands out, and these are nice and slow and steady. Those nice big reaches, really stretching out. And we're halfway through there. So let's go from the very beginning. Jazz hands, hands in each corner, rainbow rainbow over the top, and then our reaches. Don't worry, I'll dance it along with you. Let's go from the beginning. Off we go, hands ready, off we go, and reach, and in, and open, and close, open, and close, okay, and in, low, low, high, reaching out, get ready for these rainbow arms, and over, the other way, okay, let's reach out these arms like a big stretch. Now, this is a brilliant piano version. So I think we have to imagine that we're playing the piano now. So, hands to one side. Now, this is not like we're playing some Bach or some Mozart or something. We're really going for it. This is like Mrs. Mills style or something. You know, Liberace, something like that. You've got to really be very flamboyant when you're playing. So, off we go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, and then we're going to hold. Then we'll go the other way. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a hold. Other way, 1, and we got the fingers going as well, and the elbows. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Okay, then we'll just use our shoulders. Just relax your shoulders because we're doing a lot with our arms. So we're just going to do some shoulder squeezes, and then a little challenge for you just at the end. We're going to return back to this, these little reaches out, but we're going to add in a leg as well. So we want this to ideally be in opposition. So as your right hand comes forwards, it's going to be your left leg that stretches out in front. We'll take it onto the heel because it's a little bit jazzier. Reaching out and in. So we've got those nice slow ones. Reaching out and in. And then at the very end, we'll throw some jazz hands. Because you've got to. The music requires it. Okay, I wonder if we'll pick it up from halfway through. Or we could just go from the beginning actually and just mark it through. Let's go from halfway. I missed it. I wasn't ready. We're ready to play the piano. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Other way, flamboyant piano. And a 1. On our way. Okay, shoulders. Shoulders up. Down. Oh, now we're going to try this opposition. So opposite hand in front of foot. And in. Opposite hand. Get ready for your jazz hands. Finish. Okay, good. Right. Oh, you just can't help but hear this music and it puts a huge smile on your face. Let's go from the very, very beginning. We begin with our hands opening and closing. Reaching. Rainbows. And then reaching some more. And then we play the piano. Let's go for it. Don't worry, I'll dance it along with you, provided I can remember it. Apparently my brain isn't working today. Off we go, and open and close. Open and close. Get ready, reaching out low. And low. High. Get ready for reach for that rainbow, and over. And oh, Stanley's joining in. And in. Get ready to play the piano. Off we go. Go for it. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Away. Same again. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And are we ready? Shoulders. And shoulders up. And down. Are we ready? Challenging for that coordination. Opposites. And in. Opposites. Just hands coming up. Get ready. Finish. Excellent. Good. Oh, I think we need a reverence and cool down now to finish after all that excitement of I Got Rhythm. What a brilliant piece of music. Okay. So, we need to thank our audience. So we'll just take one hand out. And then the other hand out, and then we'll take our bow. So let's go with music for our reverence. And one hand out, the other hand into your bow. So let's thank our audience for watching us. And out to your audience. follow along with this. So you can just close your eyes and we're just going to focus on our breathing. So relaxing your forehead and relaxing your cheeks. Don't want any tension in the face. Relaxing your shoulders for me. And feeling your arms relaxing all the way down and into your hands. Just notice the weight of your hands as they rest on your leg. Now relaxing your thighs, your calves, and relaxing your feet and just taking some steady breaths now. And you can gently open your eyes back up again. Relaxing your hands down by your sides. We're just going to go into a little sideways stretch like we did at the start of class. So, thumb to your shoulder, reaching up and bending from the waist, creasing your t-shirt on one side and up, opening out. Let's go the other way. So, thumb to your shoulder, one, reaching up and over you go. And sitting up tall. And okay, opening your arms out and doing what I now call beating your swan wings. So you're going to wrap your hands around, holding onto your elbow, and we'll open out like swans beating their big wings. And in, head down, and you're really curving your back and sitting up tall. And curving your back. Quite a good stretch that. And opening out. And hands lower down. And that's where we'll finish. Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you so much for joining me. Keep nice and cool today. And I'll see you very soon back in the virtual village hall. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Bye.